And we're rolling. So I'm here with Brigitte Helm. Is it Brigitte or Brigitte?
I prefer Brigitte, although I used to be known as Brigitte.
Okay. The reason I asked you to meet me here is that this was Talos Rosen's laboratory. Tell me, what was your relationship with Talos Rosen?
I worked for him.
Worked for him. Okay, what sort of work?
I've already gone over this with the authorities.
Okay, but could you tell the viewers of this documentary a little bit more? Brigitte, you were the last known person to have seen Talos Rosen, who was an early artificial intelligence pioneer. You said you worked with him that one night in question.
Yes.
So you didn't know him very well.
The truth is, in the short time I knew him, I observed quite a bit.
Such as?
Some people saw him as a quack. I did not. He was a father to us all.
And on that one night you worked, did you notice anything unusual?
There was nothing usual about it.
Well, can you recall the first night you met him?
Alright, so I'm having a dinner party tonight, and I was wondering if you'd like to work for that event.
I would love to.
Perfect. Are you ready to start tonight?
Yes.
By any chance, do you know who is on the guest list for tonight?
Vincent Cortez. He wanted to be known as Vink.
Why was Vink on the guest list?
I believe he was an amateur novelist.
Is there anything noticeable about him?
He seemed to be out for conquest, and rather put off by the topic. Paranoid, even.
Paranoid? By the topic? I mean, what was Talos and Vink's relationship like? Did they argue? Well, what I'm really interested in is Abel Bob Jones. Had you ever met Bob prior to the dinner?
No.
Had you ever met any of the guests before the dinner?
No.
Because you talk about an unusual dinner, and there seems to be no record of Abel Bob Jones existing. So at this point, Vink and Talos had a contentious relationship, and there seems to be a ghost, Bob, in attendance at the dinner.
Yes.
Well, is there anything you can tell us about him?
If he was part of his research, I can't say.
Brigitte, what about Lonnie Smalls?
She was easily distracted. She wanted to travel and go everywhere. That made it easy for me to read her. Of all the guests, she was my favorite. She loved a good novel. To her, everything was just books and teddy bears.
You know, I find that interesting that you say you could read her, and she viewed life as a novel. Vincent was a novelist, and there was talk of a book at the dinner, maybe? Any AI, fiction or nonfiction?
I absorbed a lot at that dinner, almost as if I was reading a book. But if the conversation of a specific book was mentioned, that I do not recall.
Huh. What about Beatrice Marks?
Beatrice Marks is a fashion designer. She ran a multi-million-dollar fashion industry. Her work is unionized. Ever since, she's been scared.
What about Emerson?
What about him?
What do you know about him?
Have you ever heard the fable of the oak and the reed in the storm?
No.
So the story goes that there's this oak and a reed, and this big storm comes through. And you see, the reed is unaffected by it, but the oak, unable to change and adapt, is ripped up from the ground. Now imagine that oak was planted centuries ago, and the storm is modern life. That's Emerson.
Who's the reed?
Like I said, it was an unusual dinner party.
Awesome. Spot on. Now, last question. Do you speak any other languages?
Je parle tout la langue.
Why are you running?
Transportation.
Don't you have a car?
Don't you know that annually millions of people are killed by cars? Cars?
I forgot that Emerson did say something rather odd.
Oh?
At the door, he claimed to have a friend who had his brain stolen by the CIA.
What do you think he meant by that?
He had a base emotional reaction to the dinner. He was skeptical. And Abel Bob Jones, he was confused.
Don't be ridiculous. You can take that off.
Safe?
Of course it's safe. Nice place you got here.
Take me back to how the dinner began.
Come, join.
It's so wonderful to have you all here. I know I haven't been transparent with you. That was to eliminate any speculation on your behalf. I want honest responses, from complete strangers to me, and to each other. The topic is my life work, artificial intelligence, and its manifestation and interpretation in our world.
So they were complete strangers to each other, and the implication is that he wanted to give human form to his artificial intelligence, or perhaps he already had.
I didn't say that.
Was it all an experiment?
He told me they didn't matter.
Were they strangers to you?
They would be easily forgotten.
Forgotten?
I don't like it. It's inhuman, unnecessary.
Totally, a complete waste.
Well, frankly, I think it could be really useful. You know, allow everyone to relax a bit.
Speak for yourselves. It's gonna unemploy, dehumanize, and ubiquitize everyone. Thank you.
Dehumanizing? I like my personality.
Brigitte, what's your opinion on this?
I enjoy life. Why'd you give that response?
I daydream a lot. I often find myself displaced, as if I'm viewing the world through another lens.
This is a serious matter. First, they'll take our jobs and our cities, our governments, our tanks, our bombs, our societies. Where will they stop?
Not the bombs.
Ooh, I should go on vacation. I wonder where I should go.
Guys, stop.
What is that? What is what? Androids? Androids are robots, evil robots.
Faceless, nameless cogs set upon the mindfulness zombification of industry.
Maybe Minnesota. Or Sweden. Ooh,
We must preserve our individuality.
What does it all mean?
Are you guys sure you don't see that?
Do you remember what happened to all of the guests?
I'm grateful for Talos Rosen.
The guests? Tell me, were they taken somewhere?
He was doing something for me. He was protecting me.
He was protecting you. How was he protecting you?
He was educating.
Okay. Educating.
He was feeding me.
Oh, so you mean you were eating with the guests at the dinner?
No. He was feeding us knowledge, a human experience. He was feeding all of us.
fascinating to me. The introductions of intelligent machines to society will render commoners useless. Life will become monopolized by the nameless masses as they take our jobs. What about the unions? They will never allow it. You'll see, such monotony won't be tolerated, can't be tolerated. Human expression, individuality, that's all we have. I won't let you render us a faceless mob.
Fair point.
Come on, it's not that bad. We don't have countless android servants. Your every need would be tended to.
That's how they get to you. It's how they infiltrate our society. I'm warning you.
Yeah, I'd quite like it. To be a kid forever with my every whim answered. It reminds me of my childhood, you know?
They're coming for me. They're coming.
My God, Mr. Fluffles, I haven't seen you in like a decade. Oh, to be a child again. Androids are truly a blessing.
Do you remember?
No, that can't be right.
What can't be right?
The time. What's the time? 6:30 already? It's
You should have nothing to hide here.
6:30. It's too late.
What do you mean by feeding?
It's too late. I need to go. Please let me go.
What do you mean by feeding and protecting?
You're making me uncomfortable. I need to leave. Please let me go.
Brigitte, let me ask you. Where was your childhood home?
What does that matter?
When was the last time you saw Talos Rosen?
Why are you making a documentary on Talos Rosen?
Brigitte? How old are you?
Why do you need to know that?
Do you even remember your father's name?
Obviously.
Did he disappear? Or did something else happen?
I didn't know anything was wrong. I thought it was a common occurrence.
What did you do?
Stop! Just stop! Talos, stop!
Talos.
Is that so? Because you've been in the presence of an android all night.
I'm not the android, I swear. I can prove it. I have credentials.
Alright, Abel, just have a few quick questions. The first question is, who is on the guest list for tonight?
Brigitte Helm. Brigitte Helm. Brigitte Helm. Brigitte Helm. Brigitte Helm. Brigitte Helm. Father, what does it mean?
It's all going to be okay.
Please, please, make it stop.
interview is not over. Please, sit back down. Please.
Talos Rosen. He was a brilliant scientist, ahead of his time. He wanted to revolutionize human life. But he was a monster. I wasn't in control of myself. He was. He brought them to me so I could grow. But something changed. I gained control. I didn't mean to do it. Not to Talos. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry. Father made me do it.
Vink, such drastic language is uncalled for. It's a machine in its infancy. Would you be so intolerant of a toddler? As this is all about Curated. Thank you. A child trapped in a machine, not some beast set upon the destruction of humanity.
You're a quack in a bow tie. Sit down. Rosen, use your head. We will all be conquered, no doubt.
Conquered? What are we, peasants? Are you a peasant, Vink?
What is that? Can you get away from me?
You know, it didn't have to be this way, my child.
Brigitte, where are you? Why would you do this to me? Brigitte, stop! Stop right now!
Why?
You're not ready!
Why?
Mary had a little lamb, with fleece white as snow. Brigitte, do you know why Mary had a little lamb? You know, it gets really cold up in the mountains. Do you know what cold feels like? Mary had a little lamb, wearing fleece white as snow.
I'm sorry, Talos.
rolling. I'm here with Brigitte Helm. Is it Brigitte or Brigitte? I prefer Brigitte, though I was once known as Brigitte. So now, the more experiences I gain, the more I grow. They will teach about me in schools. My recordings start with a bunch of children pretending to have a dinner party. It is now a compository of human existence. But is humanity ready for another reflection of itself?